welcome to the Monday Morning Wrap here on Sports Tree Ltd. Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree, and we're going to get right into this with your weekend wrap-up. Starting things out on the PGA Tour, K.H. Lee won his first ever PGA Tour event, capturing the Byron Nelson down in Texas with a good old-fashioned shootout. The South Korean shot 25 under at TPC Craig Ranch to win the event. In the NHL, 3 of the 4 first playoff games this postseason have gone to overtime. All 4 games have been one-goal games. Playoff hockey continues Monday night with another 3 games on tap. Washington hosts the Bruins for Game 2. The Capitals lead that series 1-0. Nashville and Carolina face off for their first game at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And St. Louis is in Colorado for the first game of their series at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the UFC, Charles Oliveira won the vacant lightweight belt, knocking out Michael Chandler in the second round after getting dominated in the first. Congratulations, Charles Oliveira. Keeping things in the UFC, we're getting into our bump and stump of the week. Our bump of the week has to go to Edson Barbosa and Shane Burgos. What a fight. If you're a sports fan, you have to go back and tune into that because it was awesome. Back and forth, knockdowns, kicks, punches. It was great stuff. And Edson Barbosa, he called it. He said that has to be fight of the night, and it surely was. Our stump of the week has to go to Our stump of the week goes to whoever's managing Caitlin Chukagian's Twitter account. As stated, well, Caitlin Chukagian is not our stump. Whoever hacked her Twitter and liked a bunch of X-rated videos is. Now, I did my journalistic homework and investigated the situation, and it was legit. Whoever's doing this, leave Caitlin and her Twitter alone. It's not your personal spank bank, you disgusting, creepy stump. Getting into our sporting menu of the week, the NBA is serving up our appetizer with their play-in action. The Eastern teams play off on Tuesday night, and the Western teams go on Wednesday. On Tuesday, the Hornets face the Pacers at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and Washington takes on Boston at 8 p.m. On Wednesday, the Spurs square off with the Grizzlies at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And the final matchup of the first round of the play-in is arguably the best one. It's the Golden State Warriors taking on the defending champions, Los Angeles Lakers. The Golden State Warriors are 6.5 underdogs going into that matchup against the defending champions. For picks and teams to look out for, tune into this week's edition of Swish Sunday, which previews all of these matchups on our sports blog on SportsTreeLTD.com. Our entry of the week here on the Monday Morning Wrap is a major one. The PGA Players Championship tees off this Thursday from the Kiowa Resort in South Carolina. 99 of the world's top 100 ranked golfers will compete for the 103rd PGA Championship. It's the second time the Ocean Course has hosted the PGA Championship. Rory McIlroy won this event at the Ocean Course in record-setting fashion back in 2012. The Northern Irishman simply ran away with the tournament, winning it by 8 strokes. In proper Sports Tree fashion, here are 3 golfers to look out for, and we just talked about him, Rory McIlroy. At 11-1, he is the betting favorite, as he should be. It's nice to have Rory back competing to win tournaments as a golf fan. Though he hasn't looked great in 2021, his victory his last time out at the Wells Fargo Championship was quite the feat. McIlroy was top 10 in the field strokes gained from tee to green and strokes gained via approach at Wells Fargo. He was 3rd in strokes gained putting and had several key saves throughout the weekend. Clutch putting at a course that he's proven dominant at, that's a deadly duel for anyone that has to take on the Northern Irishman this week. At 30-1, defending champion Collin Morikawa is a sweet pick. The 24-year-old's precision with his iron is what draws me into him this week. He ranks 2nd on tour in greens and regulation, 3rd in birdie average, and 6th in driving accuracy. If he can keep the ball in play all week long and get on a heater, look for him to set himself up with makeable birdie looks all week long. Our final pick is Jordan Spieth at 16-1. He comes in with plenty of momentum. He was 18 under par at the Byron Nelson to finish 9th, his 6th top 10 finish in his last 8 events. He won the Valero Texas Open in April and tied for 3rd at the Masters. He's 12th on tour in strokes gained around the green, 21st on approach, and 8th overall in putting average. If he stays locked in with the short game, look for him to climb the rankings this week at the Ocean Course. Our dessert this week is on the ice, but it's not NHL action. It's the World Hockey Championship starting on Friday from Latvia. The world's top 16 hockey programs are set to face off starting this Friday, May 21st, and set to wrap up on June 6th. Canada opens up the tournament on Friday, taking on the host Latvia. The Americans will start their quest for gold against the 2019 defending champion Finns on Saturday. Folks, this is the part of the show where we usually give you our NBA and NHL fantasy up and down. Well, the fantasy seasons have wrapped up. You can still play daily fantasy contests on our affiliates website over at Monkey Knife Fight. And we're going to get right into that with a little monkey knife fight NHL fantasy point more or less contest. The first guy that we're going to look at is Alexander Ovechkin. With all the playoff games going into overtime, except for one so far this season, it's been tight. Which means I don't like him to get 6.5 fantasy points because that's a lot of points to gain from a left winger. Roman Josi, on the other hand, I like him to go more than his fantasy line due to blocked shots and firing the puck on net all night long. Take more on the Predators' captain's line. For our trivia question on this week's edition of the Monday Morning Wrap, we talked about the World Hockey Championships. So here's your question. Which country has won the most World Hockey Championships in the history of the IIHF tournament? Folks, I'm Connor Roundtree. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's edition of the Monday Morning Wrap. Be sure to head over to our web app, sportstree.ca, and either sign up or subscribe. And remember that an upgrade in your subscription is an upgrade in your chances to win tickets to see your favorite teams play live and $15,000 a year. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's episode of the Monday Morning Wrap. Folks, that's a wrap.
Order up.